up, all my model minorities? What's going on? It's yo man Kuro once again, sitting here with yo man
Shiro. How you guys doing? Hopefully you're having a nice summer vacation or whatever you're doing, or if you're the southern hemisphere, winter vacation, as one would say. But how you doing, Kuro?
It's not too bad, man. Weather is at least cooling up a little bit.
It is cooling up a little bit down here in the States, or United States, as they would say.
But we're not here to talk about the weather, man. What's our topic?
So our topic today is I was fortunate to have a group of Japanese students coming over visiting the United States, and it was nice and pleasant. And I just noticed something as I was kind of caretaking and making sure that they're all right and what have you. I noticed that there was a little double standard that I like to talk about. So what the double standard is, that a lot of Americans, I guess you can say Western European, or countries that predominantly speak English, have this notion when they go abroad that they expect countries to cater to their language, to make sure that, make it more difficult for them to operate, do daily things. Now, I understand, yes, you are a tourist, but it's funny how those same, not exactly, but that same country that they come from demands people that come to America or to these Western European countries to be able to learn English, or to learn some kind of level of English. And I think that's bullshit. I mean, I don't know how you feel, but I think there's a big double standard there. So everybody in the world supposed to cater to your needs, rather than saying to yourself that, hey, maybe, I may, if I'm going somewhere or abroad, maybe I should learn that language, that the country I'm visiting. At least simple, basic phrases. Now, I don't expect you to learn, college level, language skills, but at least learn the fucking basics. I mean, I don't understand this notion where, you got YouTubers or travel vloggers saying that some area is English friendly. No, you're visiting a country. Why don't you say that? Yes, they do have English speaking, but you should also learn the local language.
This really upsets you, huh?
It really because it's such a double standard. It's such a double standard that nobody likes to talk about. It's the whole notion of the ugly American, that that Westerners have the money, and so that they expect other countries to cater to their needs. And I think that's fucking bullshit. You expect, let's say, a Chinese tourist, a Japanese tourist, a Vietnamese tourist to come to America and expect them to say, go to a restaurant and then expect them to, demand, if they demand a Vietnamese or, an Asian menu, we think the people, the waitress will do, or waitress will do. They'll laugh at them. Like, no, honey, this is America. Learn English. So, why, if they're going to do that kind of shit to people that come or visit in the United States, why not when Westerners go abroad, why don't they learn their own fucking lesson and eat their own little fucking bread and crow or French fries and shit like that?
So what? These group of Japanese exchange students came here and demanded everybody know Japanese?
Of course not. Absolutely not.
What made you angry about that? Is it our Japanese American hosts were the ones that were acting like the ugly Americans, expecting them to know English?
Right, and that's a different, and that's something that I also like to talk about. And I hate to say it. I really hate to say it.
Or the Japanese Americans, we're guilty of that.
Exactly. We are. I
think probably that's what you're probably more mad about. It's not the fact of just this whole ugly Americans in general. It's the fact that it rubbed off onto the Japanese community.
exactly. Well up to the even to the nieces, even to the second generation, where now, people that come abroad, rather than learning like learning your roots, your ancestors' language, as one would say, your mother tongue or your ancestors' mother tongue. No, this is America. People should start speaking English.
Well, yeah, I mean, it was looked down upon, man. I mean, generations before us, they were made fun of for even having a Japanese accent. I mean,
no, I know. I know.
I mean, even up into your generation, people were making fun of your Japanese name, Shiro. I mean, come on, man.
I agree. I mean, they understand what Shiro means. What's that?
I mean, some of us were lucky enough to even get like westernized sounding names, so we could at least blend in on the roll call. But once they heard our last name, I
like
mean,
William Kuro, right?
It's all right. It's okay. It's okay. But I do understand like how us being Americans, we're only set to learn like one language, and that's English.
Right.
And I could see how it rubs you the wrong way, how a lot of our peers, American peers, go to other countries and they make a fool of themselves, disrespecting the local community and having them expect to cater to us.
Right. Well, not only that, I'll give an example. Even Europe, they learn multiple language. You go to France, they know Belgium, they know German, they know English. It's like, okay, those countries, those European countries, they teach their kids to learn multiple languages because it's global. But in fucking America,
I think also it's because it's a little different over there. I mean, their border states are like right next to each other. They're not separated by oceans or anything. I mean, they're lucky to even have a river to separate their border, like the Alps or something.
Right.
But they speak like a totally different version of Latin or Gaelic or whatever the hell they spoke, barbarian language.
Right.
I mean, and it evolved separately from each other. They never had like a unified language as America, the continent, does.
Right, but I as I said to you, I think you hit the nail on the head. It's basically where Japanese Americans are also much more guilty. The fact that we have that mentality, and we feel that they fuck learning my mother tongue. I don't need to learn any kind of language. I'm gonna live here all my life, and the notion of let's just say a lot of Japanese Americans go to Japan to either do the JET program to teach or to try to make a living. They complain that it's hard or difficult to make friends because the local Japanese people don't know English. Yeah, you dumbass. Learn some fucking Japanese if you want to make friends. That's it's their fucking country. What do you expect? I mean, this notion that I can't make friends because they don't know English. Like, what the fuck you thinking, people? Learn some fucking Japanese.
I give a lot of respect to FOBs, man. I mean, we talk a lot of shit about them and we kind of ostracize them, but they came over here and basically started from scratch learning a whole new fucking language.
Yeah, whether you're a fall from Japan, China, Vietnamese, Indonesia, Philippines. Hey, I'll be honest with you, some of these people, these first generation immigration, have more guts, have more hunger than our second and our third generation Asian Americans. No offense, they're hard. I sometimes think they're more hardworking than these lazy ass Asian Americans that are out there.
Well, they grew up comfortable, man. I mean, 2-story house, air conditioning.
Uber delivery.
Even before they could drive, they got their own car. Everything was paid for, even college. Not to say that they didn't deserve it, because that's what their parents before them worked so goddamn hard for. They probably wanted that, but they didn't know the outcome was going to be this is not only the American dream, but you gotta deal with the American culture of us.
Right. No,
right. Slacker, or not slacker type of clerk culture.
No.
That type of white boy dude, bro. Party all day.
Right. Smoke whatever.
Party all night.
Right. Blaze out.
Play video games.
No. Right. I mean, I guess what it is also is like some of these Asian Americans need to appreciate that. Fuck, you live in one of the greatest countries in the world, yet you know what? It's such a hypocrisy on some of their end, saying that these people that are coming overseas or what have you, they should speak English. But yet when the roles are reversed, it's like, no, I need to be catered to, or I'm not happy because they don't speak my language. It's like, you motherfuckers, like, god damn it, people, like, especially Japanese Americans. And again, we talked about this, is that because most of the because Japanese Americans got interned during World War II, it basically fucked, it
traumatized us culturally. I mean, it was a traumatic event.
Right, and it still lingers. And nobody talks about it.
I mean, it was, what, 2 generations ago? Our grandparents?
Yeah, you could say
honestly?
Or 3 right now, if you could think. Right.
Like 3, whatever. I mean, it's generationally still close. It wasn't our great-grandparents, right, or our my great ancestor, or the ones that came over here on the Santa Maria. Nothing like that. It was... Right. They're still around, some of them, Yeah. I mean, granted, they were probably, like, in grade school right now, if they were interned in the camp, that are still alive. The ones that are actually, can, physically remember, oh, yeah, I remember going back to the camp and I know which camp I was from. They're in their 80s right now. Right. George Takei, for one of them, he was like, what, in grade school? Yeah, something when he was in there, but he's trying to proclaim that he was like, he got drafted from there and everything. Some all right, whatever, shit, George. Yeah. But anyways, it just, I think this whole thing of like, what irks you is we succeeded in becoming American, man.
No, that's good.
Why can't we play like Americans too? Why can't we just act like it, man?
No.
You want us to still hold on to the old country and
no.
Somehow magically know how to speak Japanese with the generational gap?
No, but I think as Japanese Americans, I think we should start thinking that, what? I think we should start thinking that, or we should feel proud that, hey, listen, it's nothing wrong to learn Japanese. Nothing wrong to speak Japanese.
Well, sometimes we're not as lucky as like other races, like the Hispanic. A lot of times they have that one grandma or that one auntie who refuses to speak English, and you have to speak Spanish to her. Even their mother. I mean, they've been here for like 40 years, but they refuse to speak English, and they only went around like other Hispanic community areas, and they only shopped at Hispanic stores and went to a Hispanic doctor. They never had to go outside the community. We don't have that where, our grandparents, our parents were forced to speak English. We didn't have that type of community where we can go out and never speak English to anybody. I mean, Korean people, you'll find a lot of them who've been here for quite a while and they don't know how to speak English too well because all they have to do is they've been dealing with other Koreans, even in commerce, the business that they do is with other Korean Americans. They go to shopping at Korean stores. Right. I mean, they go to their Korean banks. They have it set. I mean, Japanese Americans, we used to have that, but we became so, in a matter of a generation, we became American.
That's true. I mean, I think what also irks me is that I think Japanese Americans have this unique opportunity, if they learn, Japanese itself, is to help bridge the gap between, America and Japan itself. I mean, as Japan becomes global, and tries to, have more globalized, companies, I think as Japanese Americans, I think we can help bridge that gap between between both cultures itself, rather than picking one side or the other. And I think that we should, as Japanese Americans, we should feel proud of that. That, hey, you know what? Learning a different language, i.e., your mother tongue or your ancestral tongue, that's fine, and that's great. And you have that unique opportunity. You're blessed.
Well, there's people out there that are like that, man. I think you've just been around the wrong ones.
No, there are, but there's too few of them that I still see that mentality, as you were saying, that Japanese Americans succeeded, and you know what? No need to learn, Japanese.
Well, it sucks because these are the type of people that kind of, in a sense, represent us. They're
that's where
I mean, it also probably irks you because they're the people that kind of represents us, and they reflect upon the rest of the community on how they act. I mean, I know Japanese people, we kind of have like this sense of, I don't know what to call it, like, we watch our actions because it reflects on others. I mean, I don't go around act a fool all the time because I know somebody's gonna especially if I'm around other Japanese Americans,
right.
You know, that they might know my family members,
right.
And you know, word gets around that the Kuros or the Shiros, you know, they know good,
right.
You know, and nobody likes that,
right.
You know, some other races don't have that sense of shame like we do.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes it doesn't even affect them.
Right.
For us, we end up fucking killing ourselves over it.
Yeah, literally.
Over the lightest offense.
Yeah.
You know, just the slight one, the little baby one. We'll end up, okay, we at least cut our finger off,
right,
to show how sorry we are. You know, how much we regret our actions. Right. You know, but over here in America, we kind of forgave all that. You know, forgone all that. You know, I mean.
Yeah.
You know, there is no shame in my game is the big saying over here.
I know, but I wish that, as I'm pretty sure, Kuro, I think you would vouch for that. That sometimes, a good old, back to the roots, back to the traditional. I mean, I'm not saying you gotta go all the way back to the Edo Jidai type of deal, but sometimes it's nice to go back and say, you know what? Yeah, let's go back to our roots. That's what kept us going. I mean, you have foreigners that speak better Japanese, and what have you. I mean, that's not their mother tongue. I'm like, and all I hear is excuse from the Japanese. Oh, it's too difficult, or I can't, or I don't have time. Yeah, we never have time. We make time. Stop with the excuse. Stop with the bullshit. And you know what? You have a great opportunity.
Well, I think everybody will find it in their own time, just like how we did. I mean, it's not something that you could actually force somebody into. I mean, it's not like when we're off the mic, you and me speak Japanese to each other, and I'm like not even one to talk.
Well, you understand Japanese.
I don't even know, dude. I don't. If it ain't got subtitles, I can't understand it. So I can't over here and profess and say like, yeah, man, we should learn other people's languages, because I, for one, don't even speak Japanese, and I mean, I'm trying to make an effort for it.
Right, at least you make an effort. I know that.
But this is like later in life. But I spent like half of my life hating the fact that or suppressing that I'm never going to speak Japanese because I'm American. I'm like this hardcore American.
So the next question: what? It's a little bit off topic, but what changed that, man? What switched? What moment? What not one moment, but maybe several moments. So what time or frame that you made that switch? What do you think?
I don't know. Maybe it was like later on in life. I guess I was. You become like this lost person on the inside after a while. You go through the routine of going to college and all this other stuff. You get a job, and then all of a sudden, then what? Who are you? Are you who you identify with at your job? The uniform comes off after work. That uniform is not you. You have a different uniform after work. So who is that person after work? And I didn't know. So that's when I went to the East. And I searched around. First, it wasn't Japanese at first. It was Korean, it was Vietnamese, it was Chinese, Mandarin, Cantonese, Taiwanese. I mean, I absorbed myself with that culture, with those towns first because they're biggest. And then eventually I started stumbling upon my own culture because it was just all reflecting back to my culture, because Japan took a lot from Asia. I was like, oh yeah, that's Japanese. Well, yeah, motherfucker, because you took it from us. Like, oh, okay, yeah, you're, true that. I mean, it's even like a bastard sounding name of that. Shorin karate. It's like, no, motherfucker, it's Shaolin. You just Japanese can't pronounce Shaolin, so you say Shorin Ryu. Right. I mean, it's true. I mean, and I think that I thought that was kind of cool. And then I also wanted to learn like, work related wise. It also deals a lot with Japanese traditional type of work craftsmanship.
Right.
So I wanted to learn that, but a lot of it's not translated into English. I just can't find a Reader's Digest book on Japanese carpentry or, Japanese landscaping.
Right.
I have to have it translated by a white man's interpretation of what he gathered along his journey through Japan, or whatever his wife could translate for him.
Right.
I wanted something where I could read it from the source.
Right.
So I guess it's almost like that sparked my interest. And I think that's probably happened with a lot of people. Thank God for anime and, the whole BTS thing coming down and from K-pop and.
Well, that's.
It's that little spark of interest that. Also it was like foreign movies, Japanese movies.
Right.
Unless it wasn't had a subtitle, I want to be able to understand it, right?
Right.
Well, Japanese movies and TV shows, a lot of them don't. The good ones don't have, subtitles.
Right.
How would I understand it? I wanted to, and it's almost like learning like code or something.
Computer code. No, I mean, as I said, this is just, I want to say, and I want to start a discussion within the Asian American, especially the Japanese American community itself. Hey guys, why are you resisting? What's happening? That's something that I definitely want to get into. And as I said, something's just switched with you, and it made you decide to say, okay, I want to learn a little bit more. Some people don't even have that concept, or don't even want to get near that.
Well, they're not around other Japanese speaking people.
Oh yeah, unfortunately not.
I mean,
you're right.
This is probably a lot of those Japanese American people. That's probably the first time they were even around, like fully non-English speaking Japanese, hardcore Japanese people from Japan. I mean, it's not like, we go to the Japanese market, they all speak English over there, right?
Right.
I rarely hear Japanese even spoken in the Nijiya or Mitsuwa or...
Right, the local...
Right? I mean, even the patrons that go there, a lot of the old ladies, they all speak English.
Well, yeah, whether broken English or not. I mean, but I think what irks me is that this attitude within the Japanese American community that I'm not gonna learn it. Screw that. If I go to Japan, I expect them to I gotta expect them to cater to me, to the English language. It's just like there's a bunch of YouTubers who go there and they complain, and then they say, oh, this is an English friendly place. I'm like, say what? I'm like, come on, people, come on, you can't, and you're visiting a country, at least learn the basic, like be respectful, at least.
Well, it's just the colonist mentality.
Yeah, but why Japanese American fall into that trap, to that extent? I mean, just like, why? Please wake up, guys.
It's assimilation, man. I mean,
I know, but it's like this whole issue with this Kelly Tran girl. We're still, yes, as much as we assimilate into American society, we're still Asian Americans. We're still classified as that until the day that we have that United States censors and say, are you American citizen or not? Then I think things will change. But until then, they always have ethnicity. Applications for college, high school. Ask for ethnicity. I mean,
even Harvard's saying you can't have that too many Asian.
Yeah, people. Exactly. Yeah, we're being discriminated.
Yeah, they shut the gates.
Yeah, exactly. Because we're just too good that now we're getting discriminated. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, well, the golden tide has been stopped.
Right, exactly, because they're afraid that Asian Americans or Japanese Americans are going to be, outsmarting the local white people or the African Americans or the Latinos. I mean,
well, it's all those, what are they called? Those legacy type of students. The people who had like George Bush.
Oh yeah. I know
people had like generations.
Yeah. I think
people go there. So they get like what 20%.
Yeah,
off,
extra. Yeah.
Or extra added on.
Extra added on to the
also,
point.
Like
right.
The last name is another like 20% added on, and then the ethnicity, if they're white, then it's like 50% or 75% because there's a minority.
Right. Or you're a big donor. You have connections.
Mm-hmm. And then the rest of them goes to like the Hispanics and the African Americans who get a free pass because they're considered still minorities.
Right, in that sense.
But Asians, I mean, we get there off of merit. I mean, we actually do the homework. We actually take the the preparatory tests. We
work our ass off.
The SHAT or
SAT, prep work. Yeah,
the STAT or that they have in New York for that.
It's a
SHTAT.
No, it's ACT.
SHAT or some shit.
No, it's like a ACT. It's ACT.
It's one of those damn acronyms, but it's basically like a golden almost like a golden pass into Harvard if you were like get high scores in there, or it adds to like, you know, your enrollment. I mean, but now none of that shit matters, and they're trying to switch the game up and play the numbers again, so where they could have, you know. But that's a different subject, and that it sucks altogether that Asian American people are falling into this whole. We're just being compliant all over again, just letting it happen, not raising our voices, and just like was it Motonai or something, whatever
Shogunai,
whatever it is, whatever.
Yeah, I mean that's what I'm saying to you is that, you know,
it can't be helped.
Right, Shogunai. No, that's what I'm saying to you. You know, Kuro. It's just a mere fact that, you know, listen, you know, as much as, you know, we assimilate and all that, that's great. I'm not disagreeing with you. But I think as Japanese Americans, I think we should be proud of where we come from, but also be proud of, you know, where your ancestors come from, and just, you know, learn a little bit. It's not that difficult, and to support. I mean, you have a great opportunity. That's all I'm saying. You as a Japanese American, especially in this day and age where now a lot of these Japanese companies are globalizing, trying to enter into the United States market. It's a perfect opportunity to use your background to your advantage.
Well, I thought we would be speaking Japanese by now in the future. I mean, look at Blade Runner. I mean, I mentioned this before, like all the movies in the 80s, even Marty McFly in Back to the Future 2, his boss was Japanese.
Right, at the time.
You know, he was bowing down and everything. Right. You know, I mean, I thought, yeah, the future we would be speaking another language. I mean...
But it's not. Yeah.
Well, I mean, they had their own economic bubble burst on them. You know? No. I mean, so I don't know if that was because of Japan or some CIA black op or something. You know, it could be something. You know,
right?
They played the numbers and Japan got screwed. You know,
right,
I mean,
right.
And they try to do it the Western way, and you know, sometimes it doesn't. All it is just putting yourself more in debt. I think because you're taking out more loans, you're taking out more credit. You're trying to go over your head, and you're just gonna sink.
Right.
You know, you're gonna build so many houses for what? Just to keep the contractors employed.
Yeah.
Which was basically it. You know, and then nobody can afford those houses.
Yeah.
Because they're houses and people live in apartments. You know, of course, and you know, sadly, that the same thing's gonna be happening over here. All these new buildings. You know, I mean, yeah, we're making jobs. But those jobs can't afford those homes.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, right. Yeah. So, I mean, but as I said, I just think that, you know, I just want to just, you know, I won't say, you know, a wake up call, but, you know, I'm just saying to the Japanese American community that you have an opportunity, you know, you should take advantage of it. You should be proud of it. That's basically it.
Yeah, stop being ugly Americans.
Exactly.
Come on, man. Be beautiful Japanese
Yeah,
Americans.
exactly. Yeah, be those kawaii.
Yeah, man. You know, we can. You know, we could be the charming American.
Exactly.
You know, let those other Americans be their style Americans. You know, us Japanese Americans, we have an opportunity to create a new path. Maybe we could be that charming, polite.
Like kawaii
American. Like, oh, you're Japanese American. I could tell because you're so polite and respectful to my culture. You know, it's like, yeah. Well, yeah.
Right.
And then hopefully it reflects upon our other peers, the Asian Americans.
Of course.
Asian Americans, they do the same thing, like clean up after themselves. Let's say, you know, Japanese have been known to clean up after themselves. Japanese Americans should pick up on that shit too. And then pretty soon it'll start to spread to other Asians. Be like, okay, well, you know, my peers are doing it. Asian peers. Let's pick up on that too. You know, I mean, let's do the good things that help represent us. Because there's so much shit that's being said that's bad against us.
Yeah.
So much shit. You know, I mean, we have to break that shit through proof of action.
Correct.
You know, we have to do good in order to be seen as good. And, you know, it sucks because a lot of us have to watch what we say and be so PC and, you know, but that's how Japan was.
Yeah.
You know, all these millions of people packed tightly together in a small-ass island, well, they were killing each other, but eventually they found some peace, and that was it. That politeness.
Right. But yeah, I totally agree with you, Kuro. I think that, you know, hopefully, you know, with our discussion, and hopefully people can resonate with that. Hopefully, you know, hey, you know, they can find some kind of switch, you know.
Well, at least the 30 people watching it will. You know?
At least 30, right? 30 plus.
At least 30 people we got through, man.
Hopefully so. Hopefully more. Hopefully more. Hopefully we can spread the message. But with that, hopefully we are the kawaii Japanese American that hopefully we can represent.
I respect your space, and I respect you as an individual. I wish I could say that in Japanese, but one day I will.
One day I
will. And we might even have to have this in subtitles.
Absolutely. Well, hopefully
we'll have a full Japanese dialogue.
Absolutely.
Hopefully.
In the future.
In the future. Like, give me a minute, okay? I'm like in pre-K Japanese school right now, right. So I mean, I'm just a baby.
100th episode.
Yeah, the 100th episode. It'll be a tribute. It'll be a tribute episode on Kuro and Shiro speaking Japanese, and
Okay, if you want Kuro-chan to speak Japanese for our podcast, if we make 100,000 subscribers, Kuro-chan would definitely do it.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. You promise.
Yeah.
100,000 subscribers.
But we need to subtitle that shit.
Of course.
Even in Japanese, we need subtitles. Because I don't know what comes out might be Japanese, man. I'm learning Japanese from the wrong folk, and you're one of them.
We'll make it happen. We'll make it happen. We have a long way to go, but with that, I just want to send a positive message that hey, Japanese Americans, as much as we do want to assimilate with Americans, but also we also want to stand out to be unique.
Yeah.
With our own culture.
Just be your respectful, polite self, man. Don't fall into the ugly American trap, and we'll be good. Right. I mean, we'll be looked upon as, good Americans.
A model minority.
A model
minority, as one would say. Kudo.
God damn it.
Yeah, right there. But with that, we'll talk to you later.
Peace.